portion of that, and I've crumb coated it already.
Okay.
So the filling is a white chocolate buttercream. Half of it has vanilla, and half of it has a raspberry reduction for some more zing. So it's really indulgent.
Okay, and then the filling, I mean, the icing that you put on top, and this beautiful ombre effect that you do, that's a completely different type of buttercream.
Right. That's an Italian meringue buttercream, which is the creamiest buttercream you've ever had in your life.
It is.
Wow.
All right, so how do we make this? I want to show the audience how beautiful this is to
So
me.
we're going to get started right now with our white buttercream. I separate mine into 5 batches, and one is this white,
Oh, all right.
and then the other one is going to be as pink as possible. So
And how do you make the colors different?
So I just add in a little bit more food coloring at a time. If you don't like food coloring, you could use a raspberry reduction to color this. That's totally fine. You're gonna have little specks of raspberry there, which I think is really beautiful and rustic. But for this, I used a gel food coloring.
So can you talk to me about how you became a master cake maker and the preppy food blog was born?
Well, I've always been in the kitchen. I'm a mom-taught baker. But I was a math and science teacher teaching middle school.
So you were a middle school teacher of math and science, and suddenly
Yes.
you're making these amazing cakes.
I know, I have kids that are all adults now.
How did that happen?
Well, we had to move to New York for my husband's job, and it wasn't hiring season. So he basically said, well, what do you want to do? Follow your passion. Right? Thank you, husband.
I love him. You're kidding. So you followed your passion so much so that, I mean, his blog is, when I say wildly popular, I mean it. And if you go on his Instagram page, some of the beautiful creations that you've made, it seems like you were a professionally trained cake maker.
Thanks, Mom.
You're
So, my mom can make the most amazing tasting things, and she's like, it's a piping tip. I've never used that, like a real mom.
Right.
So, this is an offset spatula, by the way. We're gonna start smoothing it out. So, I had to learn how to make things look nice, because no one can taste things on Instagram.
This is true. Yeah.
I tried. By the way, I tried.
They're beautiful on the inside, however, they feel look nice too. So, I was also an art major, and I just applied the same principles from art school to cakes. So,
Yeah, because there's a lot of math and science and baking, right?
there is, yeah.
So that must have come in handy for that.
It did. I can multiply a cake recipe like nobody could.
Right.
So,
So wait, so this is basically a lazy Susan.
it's a lazy Susan, and it comes in so handy. You can just use it to make cakes all day, every day.
Would you say it's very important to have this lazy Susan to do that fancy thing you just did?
Yeah, you don't.
That's a technical term.
You don't need a lazy Susan
But
to
it makes
like
it
do all the
easier?
twirling, but it makes your life so much easier. And you can get ones for like $10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is like a nicer one, but on camera, I actually don't use the nicer one
Now,
because it's too nice.
no, it's too nice for us.
It's
Right,
too
thank
fast.
you.
It's too
Thank you.
fast.
But look at how beautiful the gradation is there. That is amazing. Now, I have to ask you this, because you're not classically trained
Yeah.
as a baker. How many mishaps did you have before you were actually able to make it look this beautiful?
There were a lot of points where you scroll down the Instagram feed, you're like, oh my gosh. Is this person just sharing their eyeballs? This is like looking for the hashtag fail on there. But, that's how you learn. You learn by practicing. So,
Wait, John, you can delete. You know that. You can go to that first post and go.
It keeps him humble.
Oh, okay.
there are memories.
We all have starting points. Okay.
Now,
That's basically fine. You can just do a little bit of etching here, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, it's fine right now.
what's Instagrammable is what you're saying.
It's Instagrammable, yeah.
Did your mom give you tips and
I call her every day.
Oh,
Mom, so if you were doing this, what would you do?
is your mom watching?
My son, honey,
Yes.
to do that.
Just tell her to start like a makeup blog so you can tell her. Mom, I need to
That would,
That's a
I'm not sure that would go over very well in the fraternity house.
yeah,
But I know you don't just do away with this icing. I mean, that would be such a shame.
Oh.
I know.
I literally will put that in my espresso like an affogato.
Oh.
It's like, don't tell anybody it was me.
What? Okay, well, whatever's left over, we're using our espresso tomorrow.
And for that, I flavored it with a little bit of vanilla and like 3 drops of rose water, just to give it like a little aftertaste of rose. I don't know if you'll catch it.
It's
But,
really
yeah.
something else. It's beautiful. Now,
Now, these guys.
little guys. So you have actually made hearts out of chocolate.
Okay, so if you want to make white chocolate hearts, you're going to be in for a horrible time. Don't do it.
Yeah, you didn't. Did you freak him?
Well, no, white chocolate burns like in an instant, so use candy melts instead.
Oh, okay. So you just
So-
pop those in the microwave.
Pop it in the
Okay.
microwave, put them in a piping bag or a Ziploc bag, snip the tip off, and then you can freehand it or use a stencil just underneath some parchment paper.
So you just lay it down and then go
That's right.
over it so they're
And
perfect.
then they dry like in a few minutes, and they're fine. And all you have to do is pop them right onto the cake.
That's so easy.
Oh, if you don't break it like I just
Yeah.
did.
Oh,
broken
you
heart.
heartbreaker, you.
Oh my gosh, I broke another one.
You're
You
just
know what?
destroying dreams,
People's hearts are
Debbie.
delicate.
That's
You have to
okay.
treat them
I
with
know. I've been really. Look at what I'm gonna do. Watch that. Look, I just fixed it. Oh my god.
Oh, what, now you're, what, are you a heart surgeon now? Is that what you're doing?
I am. It's a double heart.
Wow.
I'm glad that this is, by the way, you have to be very careful as you
Keep
can
gentle
see.
when you're piping these on. When you're
You should always
mixing
be
them on.
gentle with hearts.
Right?
Always.
Oh,
Lord.
I know, I guess so sad.
What is your mother's favorite of everything you've done?
Her favorite